Welcome back. Well, the industry debate over media ownership laws is continuing. The boss of 7 West Media's hit out at regional broadcasters, saying they're choosing to wage a political campaign instead of boosting local news content. Regional broadcasters have criticised the Abbott government's decision to rule out changes to the reach rule unless there's an industry consensus. Get more on that story and other top media news of the week with my co-host Mediaweek's James Manning. James, a pointed, very strident outburst from John Hartigan, kind of as the face of regional TV, no less. We thought then at that point that things had kind of died a natural death when we got that news that maybe, just maybe, it wasn't in the PM's to-do list. Sure. What's changed?
Well, it's changed the pressure from a lot of backbenchers, members of the coalition who are in regional areas are facing, a bit of a backlash from media who said they're going to run a campaign to tell the voters that, look, we're under a lot of pressure financially. We might close down our local news services, and that never goes down well. Tim Warner's now come out from 7 West Media and said, yeah, look, calm down, everybody. They're just, they're not really, we don't think they're going to do that. They shouldn't be doing that. They should be investing more. Local news services rate well. They should be good sources of advertising revenue for you. You should never back away from that. So it's interesting to see that other side of the debate. Therein lies the problem the government have. They've got these opposing forces, so that's why they put it in the too hard basket. They've got this media brawl going on that they just think, oh, let's, we don't want to do anything about it.
Do you see any kind of an end point to this, or it just bubbles and simmers? And
well, I think it depends on, look, if we don't get an election for 12 months, will they do something, Gee, look, I've always said no, there's not going to be any change, and I've been right so far. So I'll assume
we'll hold you to that.
I'll take that position again, I don't think anything will happen.
The controversy over Q&A, the banning of ministers, the criticism by Paul Kelly was laid bare yesterday in The Australian, saying, look, this smacks kind of a very draconian approach that will only backfire. What are you hearing?
Well, the ABC's advertising today Malcolm Turnbull for next Monday. So it looks like the ban's over. And presumably they wouldn't have gone out with that release, and includes Malcolm's photo, unless he'd okayed, confirmed he'll be going on. So the ban does appear to be over, anyway. So, and I guess politicians have to be very adaptable to public sentiment. We surveyed this week that a lot of voters in Liberal seats around Sydney love their ABC. So the government doesn't want to push too hard on the ABC.
Because the extension of Paul Kelly's argument was you actually went from a position of strength to then making a martyr of the organisation by kind of, as it were, putting them in the doghouse and saying we're not touching you. So
No, I think it could play out badly politically, perhaps.
All right, how's this new app playing out for the Financial Review?
Yeah, the Financial Review. Look, a lot of newspapers thought apps would be their saviour, So the Financial Review was one of the people early, and they've always had a paywall. The Fin's never given away everything free. They were lampooned for it in the early days.
Hold that there.
They're still going around. So this is the AFR on app. You can.
And that's what
the new app. That's what you get in.
That's my preferred version. That one, but you can't see that one. All right. There. Okay.
Well, this is sort of my preferred version now.
What I'm intrigued about with that one is that it's a cut and paste job. There is actually the headlines are identical. The front page.
Well, that's the good thing about it, Carson. For me, I want to be sure that I'm getting everything.
Right.
This is one of the few newspaper apps that I'm happy with, that I'm convinced I'm getting everything. Right. That's what the problem I have with newspaper apps. I'm thinking, if I buy the paper, it's giving me more than I'm getting here or online. So they do a good job with it.
So what do they need to still tweak, in your estimation? What's still a bit fiddly, not user-friendly?
Just the time of day. I notice everything's not always up there early. And if you're an early bird, and if you're doing early shift here, you want it all, don't you? You can't wait till at 8:30 they might upload this story. You want it all straight away, so they've got to get on top of that. Otherwise, it's a good job,
All right, and easy on the eye as well, just in terms of,
I like it. Look, it's early days with this one, but the last one wasn't bad. It won them an award, so I think it's good. I think their readers will be happy with it. And it's a lot of live. The new elements are a lot of live data, which you'll get a page of live stuff that's which is great during the day if you're onto the markets and stuff.
Let's switch. Let's talk personalities and the battle for that critical kind of pre-news viewership, which Eddie Maguire really owns. And
he owns that 5:30 slot, that news lead-in with Hot Seat. Does very well. And you look at Nine News numbers, fantastic. Bit of
all kind of agreed upon on the strength of a handshake, anecdotally. So his loyalty is all down to a handshake. There's not a contract as such. Is that?
Well, apparently, and I think his contract was paid by Fox Sports and Nine. There was a combo of both. I'm not sure the term or the length of that contract, but there was a report this week. Michael Beatty in the Australian, he's done a biography of Eddie Maguire, and that book will be out next month. So you think Michael would know stuff?
You'd hope so.
Yeah. So I'm sure he does. So maybe he's got some more things to come in the lead up to the book. I hope so, because it's good getting the inside of what's going on. But apparently Eddie's not going to be moving.
Was it authorised, that biography, incidentally?
Not officially, no, but I think he had pretty good access to people who know Eddie Maguire, yeah.
Hamish and Andy, before we move on to more data, what's the latest?
Yeah, look, back on air this week. It's sort of, they call it a sneak week. They're not supposed to be on air till next Monday, July 13, but they came back with a sneak week. Look, they haven't done a 5-day week live show for nearly 5 years. So some opposition radio people wondering, look, maybe they're not the Hamish and Andy they used to be, but look, this week they've just proved they've still got it. They had Bono was a guest on the show on day 2 from the US. They sent a listener over to see U2 just on the spur of the moment, and it seems to be really connecting with the audience. So it's really going to shake up the market. A great start back for their new chief executive, Grant Blackley, who was down in Melbourne this week. Spent a bit of time with one of his star attractions.
Yes. Well, let's finish on the free-to-airs. Some more numbers, some more rankings, and you mentioned The Voice earlier. We have that up in lights, perhaps unsurprisingly. Yeah.
Look, doing very well. This was the second week of it. This was the first week of The Voice, these are last week's ratings, the full week. So, 3 of the top 4 spots, 9 had 4 of the top 5. So The Voice is doing fantastic business for them. And it's really what that TV, they love shows like this that can pull these big audiences.
What's intriguing about this, because here we see, as you've been needing to see, the Master Chef featuring, and it's intriguing how now 7 have got another kind of joker up their sleeve, as it were, to play when it comes to a fight back.
Yeah, well, 7 and 9, they're both going with cooking shows. Restaurant Revolution is going to be 7's contribution, and 9 have got the hot plate. They're launching the hot plate down in Melbourne, a big flashy launch this week, so they're both expecting some serious traction in this, but the shows look like they'll be up against each other, so there could be a casualty, we think. But we will track it on the show and keep the viewers informed, Carson.
Subscription TV, save the best to last. I would say that, wouldn't I? Right, here we go.
Look, just over halfway through the season. Look, all NRL and AFL are doing very well for the stations. Thursday night football, that's Sydney versus Port Adelaide. Viewers love the Thursday night football. Rates very well. We'll see more of that, I think.
Mr. Koshy's
team
position. There we have it. And then to finish on the non-sport.
That was
surprises there?
No, it's not. Australia's Next Top Model. That was the final episode, ranking at number 1 there. A bit of animation. I think probably some school holiday viewing, perhaps. There.
What's your favourite one on that list, James?
Well. Probably Open Slatters, the interesting one there. Aussie comedy, big commitment from Foxtel, big spend, some great Aussie talent. It's a little bit hit and miss at times, but it's good seeing comedy on prime time.
Well, I've been hit and miss covering for Ingrid, so she will, I'm reliably informed, should be back next week. James,
it's good working with you.
Nice to talk, nice to have you on, and nice to see you as always. Look forward to the next opportunity. James Manning, editor, publisher of this, your Media Week, which is out for this week, and we will see you in 7 days.